Hey guys, happy new year. How are you? I hope everything is going well with you. Happy new year. Happy 2023. We're here today with our first live session of the year. We're here to talk about Damar Hamlin. We'll talk about the 6-year-old shooting and a little bit much more. Again, my name is Stephanie.
This is Andre.
And this is Table for Four, our family conversation podcast. We're excited to do a lot of things with you this year. Going to have a lot of things coming up, new projects we're working on. We're taking one thing at a time. So we just want to get right into it. Welcome to our live sessions on the podcast. We talk about different stories and topics and the headlines for the week and everything and anything else in between. So today we're going to be talking about Damar Hamlin. So if you haven't aware of that story, it was about, I think it was like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, last weekend.
Last weekend, right?
Yeah, last weekend. Yeah, so, pretty much a week and a half ago.
So Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin was hit. Blunt force trauma right to the chest. So apparently it was a very scary scene. And the Damar unfortunately went into cardiac arrest. Now, a lot of misleading information came about from that, stating that the reason why he went into cardiac arrest was because he had the COVID-19 vaccine, which is something that I was looking into a little bit more and just trying to figure out. We don't even know his vaccine status, but the real reason why he went into cardiac arrest is because he got hit in the chest.
Yeah, hit in the right spot, the right time.
Hit it at the right spot, right time. And there was a lot of doctors that were out there. And the one in particular, Dr. Brian Sutterer, he was the first one, I believe, on Twitter that was giving us an explanation as to the reason why he went into cardiac arrest. Now, again, he's a young man. He's 24 years old. He's played football for a while. And he's had a lot of experience getting hit. So for this particular incident, it was more likely a freak accident.
Yeah.
This is what I would have to say. It's like really a freak accident, because just thinking about the way it was conducted, and many people didn't realize until the way he hit the floor. And there was the scary scene during that time when they had all these people coming in, rushing in to see what's going on. And it was very, very scary. But Dr. Sutterer, he came in, he explained it. And it was very, very detailed, saying that it might have been a condition called commortor cordis. I'm going to make sure I'm saying that right. So commortor cordis. Let me see if I'm going to say. I'm probably butchering that name, but I want to make sure I have that right information. But as far as anybody can tell right now, the most updated information, he currently got discharged from the hospital, which is great. From that point, he was able to, he was intubated, which was very, very scary, but he was able to get discharged most recently, and he's on his way to recovery. But I want to talk a little bit more about how this all happened, who was responsible, could have this been prevented, could have not been prevented. But I want to go back to Brian Sutterer, the MD that's on Twitter. I'll definitely leave some links and some information where you can definitely follow him on Twitter and follow with some of that information. But he made some great points, is that breaking it slow, scene by scene, as to how, you get hit with a helmet. Yeah. You get hit straight in the chest. You mean to tell me that that's not going to hurt at some point? But the point and the way that it happened, I think that's what made it such a freak accident. I think that's really what made it even more scary.
Right, but if you look at the way he was hit, it wasn't like a full-blown impact. It wasn't like a hard hit. It was just two guys. I feel like that. Okay. The tackle wasn't like a heavy.
Okay, so let me say something. All right, so a point. Do you need to be hit hard to break a bone? Do you need to do something really hard to break a bone?
No. But if to answer your question, was this a freak accident? I think it was.
I think it was a complete freak accident.
This is just your body goes through electrical surges with your neurons and all your stuff in your brain, or your electrical. We have like some sort of neurons, right? Electrical current that flows around our body.
So here's the breakdown, right? So our heart has 4 chambers, right? So you have 2 upper chambers, 2 lower chambers, right? So we have 4 different parts of the heart which are in charge of electrical charge. So you have your SA node, right? AV nodes. You have your pacemakers, things of that matter. So when you're looking at if you're looking at an EKG, right? Mm-hmm. You have your normal EKG readings. You have your P, your Q, your R, your S, and T waves, right? So what they were saying is that he got hit in between the time the valves open and between the time the valves close. So if your valve is open, you get hit, you can't close it right away.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to understand, how that happened with that freak accident. Because remember, your heart is, you're pumping blood in and out. Your heart is going 60, 70 pumps per minute. In that millisecond where your valves are open, my man got hit, bang! And it was just like, it was a shock to the heart. And that's why he went into cardiac arrest. So when you think about cardiac arrest, it is different from having a heart attack. So because cardiac arrest is with electrical and heart attack is more with circulation.
So myocardiac infarction, what is that for?
An MI is a heart attack.
Not cardiac arrest.
Yeah. So when you're arrest, right? Your body, your heart is literally arresting. It means that it's malfunctioning in a way that it got into the way of electricity. Mm-hmm. So for him, you have to start CPR right away because you need to keep some way to keep that heart pumping and things of that matter. But again, for me, it was just such a freak accident. And looking at the footage and looking at him and the condition that he was in, I don't know how COVID-19 got into that conversation. That to me, I just don't know how that.
Because he got the jab. He got the jab.
So
it's probably that's what caused it.
I don't understand.
And the whole, I guess, what do you call it? The positive side of it is when he woke up. The first question he asked was, "Did we win?
Did we win?
Did we win the game?" The doctor said, "You won that life."
He did. He won that life. You sure did. It was just something where it was an amazing recovery. Just from the point where he was cardiac arrest, from the time he was intubated, from the time him opening his eyes and being able to communicate and being discharged within 10 to 12 days later. That's an amazing feat in itself. But I think that does a lot with age because he was very, very young. He's still young. I think that was to his advantage because if he was an older player, if he had any heart conditions or any other abnormalities or anything to that matter, I don't think anybody would have been able to survive something to that effect. But I want to talk a little bit about from another doctor from the American Heart Association, Dr. Camilla Sasson. She was talking about what was the potential causes for the actual cardiac arrest. And she mentions that during that game, what happened was it was also like the way that it happened. It was just such a weird positioning for Damar to be hit in that way. So when you're looking at the positioning of the heart, the helmet and your heart, the way it was done, the helmet went this way and it went at the apex of the heart. Mm-hmm. So the apex is like really at the bottom of the heart. So if he was to get
right, he didn't get hit. He was the one that hit the person.
Right.
So he wasn't the one that received the hit.
Right.
So he was the one that went down and hit the guy like below the chest.
Right. So I think that was the other thing that people were kind of understand, like, how did that happen? And this is like, freak accidents happen. It's just, it was just the way that it was done. And it was like, it was just really, really, really strange. But going into talking about how COVID-19 stepped into the scene, I don't know. Again, when we're talking about misinformation, we don't want to give that information where, well, you should get vaccinated, you shouldn't get vaccinated. That's not really the conversation we're trying to hear here. But when looking into another website called facts.org, I love this website. It comes in and it breaks down all the misconceptions or misinformation that's being out and fed into the internet. So what happens is, in the early reports when the COVID-19 vaccine was given, that it did cause some inflammation around the heart. So they thought that because of this particular incident with the heart, they assumed that because he might have gotten the COVID-19, he might have gotten myocarditis. So myocarditis, inflammation of the heart, could have been caused by the vaccine. But again, we're sitting here like we don't know his vaccine status.
We don't know if he had an undiagnosed pre-existing condition.
We don't know that either.
We don't know.
We don't know that. So
and maybe this hit brought it to light.
Right. It could have been anything.
He was activated.
Any of those things could have happened.
They activated him.
So I don't know how is it that COVID-19 got into it. But again, Dr. Peter McCullough is the cardiologist really, really known for spreading information about COVID-19. And he suggested that he did indeed take the COVID-19 vaccine, which is a subliminal vaccine-induced myocarditis. And it must be considered when talking about different diagnosis. So again, when you're thinking about this, we don't know his underlying conditions. We don't know if there was anything else that was going on. But my doctor was like, yo, that's what happened. He had the COVID vaccine. His heart was inflamed. And then he got hit. And then that was the end of that. I'm like, I don't understand. I just don't understand how they're connected. But again, when you are at the hospital, you want to make sure that you do all different types of testing, regardless if you're doing vascular, neurological, or cardiology. You want to make sure you check all those things. You want to make sure his circulation is doing well. You want to make sure that he didn't get any
stress test.
You want to make sure he didn't get hit in the head. You want to make sure he doesn't have any blood clots. You want to make sure all of those things. So I just want to make sure that when thinking about somebody's vaccine status, that shouldn't be the first thing that comes out your mouth when somebody gets injured. That to me just makes them like, all right, well, we just don't want to come and talk about that immediately because that could be the immediate cause for it. But again, everybody is entitled to their opinion, but it's just like, why are we bringing COVID-19 into this conversation? A young man just got hit in the chest. He's in the hospital. And now the NFL, what was the decision? What ended up happening with the NFL?
Be honest.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like they didn't continue the game.
No, they did. They continued the game.
They continued the game.
They won. There were a lot of sportscasters were saying that they should have continued the game. They should, they were like, but some people were calling for it to stop the game. But the game went on. Mm-hmm. The game went on, and they won the game. So,
kudos for them.
Yeah, and then the week after, they play it again, and they're making it to the playoffs. So.
Yeah, but he's obviously.
I don't think he's going to play.
I mean, obviously, he's not going to play in that sense. No. I mean, that breaks my heart that he's been training and wanting to play, and this unfortunate accident.
And he's only been in the league for about 2 years.
Oh, so he's very new.
So either this might be career ending, or we'll see how this goes.
I hope it's not career ending. I mean, so many things can be taken into consideration when it comes to heart conditions because there's a lot of there's so many things that can go into it. But just thinking about how somebody's vaccine status came into part with this conversation, it's just like I really hope that wasn't really the focus. But that to me it was just a little annoying. Now that he's home, he's going to be recovering. He's going to be checking, everything they can do possibly to make sure that he's in a good status and making sure that he can play later on. Or maybe how you mentioned before that maybe this is a career-ending injury and we just don't know from here. But just for him, I'm so thankful that he is doing well. He was able to be discharged, and he has something to look forward to because it could have been a lot worse. Yep. But just thinking about how is it that when playing these types of full contact sports, how is it we think about as parents? How do we think about, about these different injuries that can happen on the playing field?
Well, we don't think about it. I grew up playing sports, and I never thought about the ramifications of getting injured. I got hit. I got hit with a baseball. Fielding a ground ball. Our field was very lumpy. So I got hit with a ground ball.
So injury you're prone to injury. Yeah,
I was prone to injury. And especially as a young man growing up, we were bike riding, doing stunts. I was rollerblading, jumping off steps. I don't care.
Doing foolish stuff.
Doing foolishness. I don't care.
But you should care.
I don't care. Now I'm paying for it because now that I'm older, my whole body hurts. My body aches.
You old.
I'm old. I'm an old fogey.
But like thinking about how these type of injuries can happen on the field, it's just like how do we deal with these young athletes with these really complex and very complicated injuries? What are the precautions that could be taken? Is there enough equipment that they're wearing on the field? These little leaguers and these little football players, they come in with their little hats. They look so cute with their uniforms and everything. But one quick turn, my man can just get hit and get concussion.
But the rules have changed from like full blown tackle football.
Full blown tackle. What do you mean?
Before it was no holds barred. You could hit helmet to helmet.
They still do that with hockey.
No. Hockey's different. Hockey,
I don't know. Hockey. We gotta go see a hockey game.
You just skate by them, boom, shove into the glass.
Oh no!
Oh, you hit me? Gloves are off.
Done.
And start duking it out.
They allow you to do that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But for football, the rules have changed. Now they have more padded. Because back then they had leather helmets. Now you have these fiber technology, carbon fiber, like all these lightweight, foamy cushion on the inside to help you.
So
to help protect the brain.
You're saying that there's more equipment that's more protective
of
them.
Yes, and now you can't tackle below a certain point. It has to be between a certain area.
Yeah, but what if you're out in the field, my man?
But things happen.
That's what I'm saying. Things happen.
Shit. If I was to tackle somebody, I'm making sure, right? To him to go down. He's going down.
No. But that's the thing. As parents, it's like, how can we have protective gear to protect them, and not have these kinds of injuries on the field,
Right.
And that to me that worries me, because if there was ever opportunity to, like, full contact sport, whether if it's football or for baseball, if it's basketball, hockey, all these types of games, man, you could get hurt.
Yeah. But that's the
game of life.
Part of the game. It's part of the
game. Nah.
It's part of the game.
My man Damar did not sign up for that. He did not.
Yes, he did. He's playing football. He signed up to get hit or to
Nah, not like that.
This was a freak accident.
Ay.
This was a freak accident.
So, speaking about different freak accidents, now still focusing on football. Do you remember the big controversy with CTE? Do you remember that?
Yes, the concussion, the whole point of the brain scans and
right. So right away, I thought CTE with chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Well, that is that there is a consistent trauma to the brain, and it actually causes the brain to swell. So what happens is your skull is fighting with your brain for space. That's literally what's happening.
Yeah.
Because there's been constant trauma being hit. You're saying that they're implementing safer helmets or however carbon fiber lighting, whatever the case may be, you're still getting hit. That to me is just like, you're still getting hit. And I'm like, doesn't matter how much protective gear you have. If you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. So for me, that's another type of injury that kind of reminded me of something so far. Like, again, I don't know if you remember that movie Concussion that Will Smith was playing the doctor. Oh my God, I forgot the doctor's name. Binet Amalou. Well, he was studying the brain, and he was the one that was the first person to discover what was causing the damage. Now, a lot of it was leading into Alzheimer's, into dementia, and it was really a degenerative disease that he was able to discover. And she's like, yo, these people are getting hit in the head, and this is causing these types of disease to the brain. And it's like really, really sad. So those are the things that I worry about when you see these little kids, they're on the field, they playing. I mean, they look like they're having a great time, but I'm always in the back and I'm like this. Oh my God, they're going to go hit themselves. And I'm like,
hit him!
I'm like, get him!
Hit him!
You're like, no, hit him!
Get him!
You know what I mean? So that to me is always...
Go out there and get him, boy.
Go out there and get him, boy. Those are the things I worry about. You want people to enjoy the sports, and, freaking Super Bowl is coming. And it's like everybody's getting ready for this game. You know what I mean? So just to hear about this incident, it makes me worry about the further players.
Yeah, but this is only one sport that has this type of, I'm not going to say this is not the only sport, but there's other sports that are more barbaric than this.
Explain.
Like UFC, you know, these guys are beating their literally crap out of each other. Boxing is another one that can cause CTE to get too many blows to the head, you know?
Yeah, but they don't got equipment. All they got is gloves. They don't have protective gear, maybe for the groin, maybe, because you can't be
the mouthpiece,
and the mouthpiece. Yeah. Yo, did you see, like, you remember that posting me? There was a girl that was one of the fighters. Oh my God, I forgot her name. Oh my God, she was bloody. She had a whole eye looking like this without picando, and it was just so bad. And I was just like, how you just want to go up?
She got beat up.
She got beat up. And I'm like, oh my God, like that. Why do you want to put yourself out there to get yourself a beating? I mean, I like seeing it. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
I love seeing it.
As long as people have interest in it.
Oh my God. But
who knows? There might be like the 1% club probably have like an underground fight club.
Oh my God. I don't know about all that.
But to the death.
I can't. But I enjoy seeing the fights. I love seeing UFC. I love seeing boxing. I love to see those sports. But I always feel so bad when I think about it medically. And I'm like, yo, he got kicked to the rib. Yo, that's the third or fourth rib that's broken right there. Oh, man, he got messed up. He got that ocular all messed up. That's what I'm thinking in the back of my mind. And I'm like, oh, that's the thing.
But when you come to these sports, you kind of sign up for this.
Yeah,
you sign up.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But thinking about CTE, the first thing that came to mind was the Aaron Fernandez story about how my man got hit in the head one too many times and he just literally went insane. So I don't know if you had an opportunity to go check that out. The story is very interesting. He talks about how he's murdered 2 or 3 different people, but because of the development of CTE, his brain had so many degenerative and so many malformations that he literally went insane. So if you have a chance to go look at that, that was a very interesting story.
Yeah, but I don't think he killed people. He killed himself.
Well, eventually.
Chris Benoit is the one that killed his family.
Espérate. That's another story. Yeah. That's another. No, but there was I think it was.
Oh, but right, there was a thing.
Discovery and Netflix and everything of that matter.
I think he was part of a death, but I don't know if he was the one that pulled the trigger. It was just.
It was a
you gotta watch it.
It's a sad story, yeah. But it was very interesting to see that the connection to his mental breakdown and to his wild behavior and his winding down in personality and everything like that was really led by CTE. Now, Chris Benoit, that's another sad story. Those are we didn't even put wrestling in there. Wrestling is you getting hurt. You getting hurt. People remember who? Oh my God, who was the Brett brother? Nah.
Oh no.
Not Owen. Was it Owen?
No. Owen fell.
Owen fell from the rigs.
Yeah.
Well, who was the other one?
They had
the CT. Chris Benoit was
Chris Benoit. Another one was Eddie Guerrero, but I think he killed himself. He didn't. A lot of these guys commit suicide.
It's so sad. Such a good sport, but it's so sad to hear these stories.
Oh, sometimes they overdose. You know, they
so sad. But the thing is like when you get into these sports, this is not the side that I want to see or the side that I don't think that they particularly sign up for. That's what I'm saying. It's for everybody's enjoyment, but I hate to, think about it in that sense that, this is the here you go.
Yeah.
And I hate to think about that. But it's just, we're glad that Damar is doing better. He is home. He's going to be on a long recovery. But I want to jump into the next story about the 6-year-old that shot the teacher in Virginia. So I want to hear your thoughts. So if you hadn't have an opportunity, we had a quick discussion with the kids on School Commute Combos. It was just recently posted. And yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on that. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
It's sad that it's happened. But the fact that nobody died or no other kids, were hurt in the process is good. But I have to make fun.
Uh-oh.
Like, how much did he hate his teacher?
Bro.
For him to bring this gun to school.
What did she do?
I'm sorry. Yeah, what did she do to him?
What did she do to him in particular?
Because all he did was just took one shot and put the gun down. That's all he did. That's what he did.
You know this for a fact?
Yeah,
as if you were like sitting there?
Yeah, they literally said that the kid, only one shot went off, and then after the shot went off, he dropped the gun.
I mean...
Or he relinquished the gun.
He relinquished... Okay.
And after that, after that, the situation was under control.
What? It was never under control.
The minute she got shot, it was out of control.
No. The second that gun was in his book bag, the situation was out of control, my man. Yeah. That don't even matter. No. So now,
because of his age, he won't be charged. But now his parents might be criminally viable. But
remember, we've had
because
this conversation.
Of the laws of Virginia.
Right, but we've had this conversation before. The parents are culpable.
Of course.
You made an example like when we talked about abortions, right? When we talked about it a little bit back in our other live sessions. That if the mother was well aware of a younger 10-year-old child, went to go get an abortion, and the mother was being charged because, why? She's underage, and the mom is responsible for them.
Yeah.
Same thing you mentioned before, how...
I'll give you my personal situation.
About the car, right?
Yes, I took my mom's car before I had a license, before I had a permit. I was
right.
Like 15,
I remember
16.
You mentioned this, yep.
And because
doing foolishness,
I took it out. We went out to get something to eat, and then,
should have ate some cereal at the house.
I think we went to go get pizza or something, and
you should have just walked.
So I got pulled over, and then I didn't have a license or I had the registration but no license. So because I was underage, they put those charges under my mom's name.
Right.
So it showed up on her DMV report, and then when I turned of age, that's when it transferred to my record.
Right. But what I'm saying is, number one, how did he have access? Right.
We don't know. We don't know if...
No, but some of the reports were saying that the gun was legally purchased by the mom.
It was legally purchased by the mom.
So
now it's all about how you conceal it at home.
How are you concealing it at home?
And how you have it, what's the word? Out of sight and locked in the safe. So now all that is being investigated right now to see whether or not they follow protocol or who had access to the safe, to the gun closet.
What makes you why are you assuming that there was a safe?
Well, if you have to have it in a hidden area, you have to have it in the lock and key.
I have a legit question. If there's a safe, right? If there was a safe, right? Does the kid know the combination to it?
We don't know.
We don't know that. Okay. What I'm saying is, how my man had access to the gun. Did she have it on her top drawer?
We don't know. Underneath the pillow?
Underneath her pillow?
Underneath the mattress? We don't know.
Okay, so then now the question is, now that she purchased one for whatever reasons...
But there's been times also like where kids will find everything that's hidden in your house and take it to school. Because I've done it with stuff that my grandmother, my mom, I used to hide.
What to school that was hiding?
I don't remember. I remember I used to I used to find stuff and I used to just put in my book bag and, oh, look what I found at home. And show my friends in school. But it was
foolishness.
But it wasn't like a gun or anything. Like
no. Here's what I will say. Regardless, whatever the case may be, somebody got shot, somebody got hurt. Now, my first question was there anybody else around when the shooting happened? That was the other thing. I was like, you're at school. If you're saying that he just went up to the teacher, went pot, and then put it down, Is that what the situation is? Because I don't know. Was there anybody else around? Was it in front of the students? Was it in a classroom? Were they in the hallway? Those are the things that I worry about. It
was probably in a classroom.
I don't understand.
Unless they had a one-on-one, be like, yo, teacher, I want to show you something.
You're so bad.
I'm sorry.
You are. I'm
sorry.
Bad.
I gotta make light of this situation.
How? How do you make light of this situation? This is the thing. It's one thing to control who can purchase the guns, and we can get into that, but we're not going to get into that because that is just something that adults are the ones that are supposed to be responsible and putting things away, right? Remember, there was another school shooting. The 18-year-old had an AK-14 or AK-16. Why do they have access to that type of gun?
Like I said, we don't know. And then they're probably going to blame it on video games. They're going to say he plays too much Fortnite. He watched too much YouTube.
There's so many things that you can blame.
Of course, I'm pretty sure the parents are probably
they probably feel
feel terrible. They're upset about this whole situation.
Terrible. They're probably embarrassed. Absolutely. Because now this is national news, and now it's like, as parents,
this kid's name is going to come out soon.
It's done.
The parents' name,
not until he's 18.
No, but the parents is going to come out. So
the parents' name.
Yeah, so people are going to know. You know, especially if the teacher wants to press charges, or if it ever goes to trials or whatever.
Yeah, but my thing is, like, why were you saying, like, what did the teacher do to him? Did you take away his crayons? We are terrible.
I'm sorry.
We are terrible. Like,
but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what happened.
What would stress a 6-year-old? Now, here's another thing. Let's flip it on. Let's flip it on the other side.
It could be anything. There was an article where the kid killed the mother because he couldn't get, like, he couldn't order stuff on Amazon or something, whatever it was. Like, so he ended up killing.
You need to follow up with that, because I wasn't aware of that.
This is like a couple months ago.
Okay, all right, so let's flip it on its other side, right? So you're a 6-year-old. What are the priorities you have on your day-to-day, right? You get up, you go to school, you get ready, you're worrying about school assignments, you're worrying about colors, you're worrying about artwork.
Right. I found the article.
You found the article?
Yeah. So the article is 10-year-old kills his mom because his mom told him no to purchasing an Oculus headset, a VR headset.
Where?
This was December 7th.
Where? Where was this?
I'll tell you right now.
In Wisconsin.
Milwaukee.
Yo.
After being accused of shooting and killing his own mother over a virtual reality headset.
Let one of my kids come and tell me something about purchasing something and then turn around and try to hurt me for that. No.
This kid, who knows? The teacher probably was like, you put your phone away or give me a phone.
To a 6-year-old?
Yeah, who knows? They got 6-year-old kids out there with phones now.
But in school?
In school. Who knows? Like I said, we don't know the whole extent of the story.
No, but what I'm saying...
You're saying is crayons.
No, but that's what I'm trying to think of the mentality of a 6-year-old. Like, you're not really... Are you really making those type of decisions that you really want to hurt somebody, right? So now here's the other thing. On the flip side, did he have any mental issues? Was he diagnosed with anything? Could he have had any emotional distress? Could he have ADHD? Could he have anything to an extent where it could have affected the decision making that he made, right? Anything. It could be anything at this point, because we don't know what exactly was the trigger or what was exactly the boiling point for this 6-year-old to literally say to myself, well, I'm going to go bring a gun to school. I'm going to shoot my teacher because my teacher made me sad, or my teacher made me mad, or my teacher embarrassed me in front of the school. We don't know the reasoning, but whatever that reasoning was is not good enough for him to go make a decision.
Right.
Okay? That to me is very, very sad that this mom lost her life because her son couldn't get what he wanted. This teacher got shot because maybe there was a disagreement, or maybe there was something to that effect that he was offended, or the 6-year-old wanted to, make a point. I don't know what it is, but you're still a child. You have to still respect your elders. You still have to you have to still maintain some sort of respectability and some understanding. This is why we're the parents. We're supposed to guide you in making better decisions about these things. Bringing a gun to school is not one of them. My thing is that, was there any red flags for the teacher?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Those are all the unknown questions that we have. Was there any red flags? To be like, wasn't there a phone call that was made and say, hey, your child was very, upset the other day. Maybe we can sit down and talk about it. Or maybe she's just overwhelmed as a teacher already. Because now we have to think about teacher safety. Now we have to think about the other students' safety. Now you got to think about those parents that heard that there was a shooting at the school, knowing how bad the situation can turn. How badly those parents, and remember in Uvalde in Texas, do you remember how bad things went?
Yeah.
So to hear that type of story not only scared me, and I was just like, oh my God, it's happening again. It's repeating again.
Yeah, but this is from the inside of the school. Not, the other one was coming from the outside. This guy went in.
What are you talking about? The kid came from outside. He didn't live at the
right.
school.
And this time, this situation is different. This kid is inside the school with the gun.
You're saying that this is isolated.
This is an isolated incident and it happened.
As opposed to the other gentleman that it was random.
Yeah.
Or I mean, not random, but that he had intentions
of going to
doing that.
Right. Who knows? Like I said, we don't know what this intention of the 6-year-old kid was.
Right. I don't even know. That's.
It's hard and it's sad. It's a really sad situation.
So we turn the question to you. Who do you think is responsible? Who do you think is the responsible one at this point? Do you think that the mom is responsible? Do you think that the 6-year-old is responsible? Who should be the one to take the blame?
Well, it's going to be the parents. Everyone's going to be the parents. But now,
by default.
But now the first question is going to be, does this kid come from a dysfunctional family? You know, that's the first question.
Well, that's the assumption.
That's the assumption.
That's always the assumption. That's always the assumption. That's always the assumption. And you know what? He probably could come from a loving home. My man could probably come from a loving home, and this could still happen. So there's really nothing in the sense that, you know, oh, he has to come from a bad home. Don't get me wrong. Half of the time, if you're acting up, it's because you coming from a home that's acting up too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. But it's really sad to hear about the story, and as parents, I was super scared to hear another incident like this happening at school and with young kids. And then to be surprised that the shooter was the 6-year-old. I was like, what? I was like, no way. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Well, guys, I'll let you guys go. I don't know if you guys have any other questions. Leave your comments. Let us know. What are your thoughts? Tell us more about your ideas. Anything you want us to talk about, definitely let us know. Give us comments. I don't know about the 6-year-old because that thing got me like, that got me tight. I was just like, I didn't know how to say, what else to say about that.
Yep.
But let us know. Well, guys, this is Table for 4 live sessions with Steph
and Andre.
And we'll see you on the next one, all right? Have an amazing day. Happy New Year. Keep it moving, guys.
Take care.
Take care.